Hey guys, what's up? I'm Christian, that's Corey, and this is our review of Fuck, It's Not in Black and White. Okay, we're back again. Anyway, it's Naruto 625, and this is the chapter where we get to see the real foundation of the Hidden Leaf Village with Hashirama and Madara. But at the beginning of the chapter, we're seeing Madara defeated, and he tells Hashirama, look, if you want me to be cool with you guys, you have to either kill your brother or kill yourself, because then we're on even terms. Hashirama's like, cool, I'll just kill myself. And then he looks over his brother, he's like, after I do this, you know, everyone has to be cool. Because that's the rules. It makes perfect sense, right? So he takes off his armor, is about to shank himself, and Madara's like, "Wait, that's cool." It's pretty much that Bible story. What is that Bible story? God's like, "Kill your son," and then like right before he kills him,
it's the story of Abraham and Isaac, just with ninjas.
Ninja Isaacs.
However, before we actually get that scene where he's getting ready to kill himself, we get some more of that wonderful symbolism that Kishimoto loves so much, and we get our favorite symbolism, the one we've been waiting to see for so long. We get the water droplet.
It's deep as fuck.
So now the Senju clan and the Uchiha clan are best buddies and they form the Konoha village. And it looks really cool, you know, we get to see it first as the forest and then it evolves into the actual village itself. And then we get that nice scene with Madara and Hashirama hanging out on top of Mount Ninjamore, where they basically start to sing Paint with All the Colors of the Wind. But before that happens, they start to talk about, how are we going to run this village? How's it going to work? I mean, we are a ninja village and we support the fire country, so I have an idea. Let's become the Hokage, which is Fire Shadow, which Madara thinks is incredibly cheesy. However, Madara comes up with something even cheesier. Let's call the village Konoha. And he does this with even more symbolism by putting a leaf right up to his eye. And he's like, we'll be the leaf hidden behind the village. You get it? Because the village is behind the leaf. It symbolizes everything, people. Holy crap. But before we get to that, we get even more discussion. We got to figure out how Madara is actually going to become the Hokage. Because the first wants him to do that, but it's pretty obvious that everybody in the village loves the first Hokage. Tobirama notes this. He even mentions the Uchiha don't even really care for Madara that much. And they're sort of at a conundrum here, because they're like, well, I want him to become the leader, but nobody wants that to happen. And then all of a sudden, there's a rustle in the bushes right outside the window. And this is what I think is actually one of the funnier scenes, and I don't think it was meant to be funny. Apparently, Madara was listening the entire time, eavesdropping on this conversation, and he sort of just runs away. And I guess he's just upset over the fact that he can't become the Hokage. And you can just imagine Madara acting like a little, prepubescent girl running into his room and just getting on his bed. I want to become Hokage! Just right, dear diary, the Senju are a bunch of ass faces.
Okay, so the last part is Madara and Hashirama sitting in the Uchiha hideout looking at the secret Uchiha tablets. And Madara says that the interpretation is, you need a special eye technique to look at it. Obviously, Uchiha eye techniques, because the fucking Bankai ain't doing shit anymore. And anyway, so after that, they're looking at it and they're saying you need yin and yang. In my interpretation, it looks like the six paths, his two sons, like you need both.
Yeah, they're talking about how it was split into the yin and yang chakras.
Yeah.
And obviously this is going into the story of the Ten Tails and the Sage of the Six Paths, how all that stuff went down and everything. And it's pretty clear, like you said, they're both looking at this with two different interpretations. Mm-hmm. The first Hokage is like, we can use this to, better the ninja world in probably some way. Mm-hmm. But Madara sees it obviously in a much darker fashion. This is, of course, where he turns evil, which I'm not really liking that text at the end. I don't like that he turns evil. I like to think that he was always sort of kind of fucked up in the back of his mind. But still, this is leading into the sense where Madara is going to leave the village. And why? Probably because he learned, I can take control of the Ten Tails and rule the world.
Okay, so what did we think of Naruto 625? Well, in my opinion, it was very rushed, and I thought it was going to be a little more dramatic. Now, I have to be honest.
It was dramatic.
It was, well, dramatic in the wrong direction. But the real thing is, I think last week we were complaining about the flashbacks taking too long. But if there was ever the flashback to stretch out and really take your time with, it was this one. It was the foundation of the village. And I felt that it was rushed, in my opinion.
I do agree. There were a lot of things in this chapter that felt entirely rushed. In particular, the whole thing with Madara just becoming evil. Like I said, the whole turning evil thing still sort of bothers me. Mm-hmm. And I sort of relate it to Star Wars. And I like bringing up Star Wars all the time with Naruto. But it's like, you know how you watch the original Star Wars movies? You got Darth Vader. Mm-hmm. He's a badass. There's no denying it. He's the villain. He's all black. He's an awesome character. And then you get the prequel ones where you get to see what happened beforehand. And you get to see that he's kind of a whiny little bitch. And then he turns into this badass. And that's kind of what's going on here with Madara. And I don't know, I'm not really fully convinced like why he just decided to become evil just by reading that tablet at the end. And obviously the scene where he runs away after hearing Tobirama and Hashirama's conversation is hilarious. Just, again, it kind of goes like what was going on last week. Madara needs to get over his fucking pride. He really needs to let that go. And that's obviously been the, the linchpin for what's been going on here with all the Uchiha and everything. And even the other Uchiha are like, dude, just let it go, man.
Let's just start here, live a good life.
Exactly.
Here.
We don't need to summon fucking 10-tailed animals to take over the world, bro. Let's just fucking chill with the leaf guys.
Yeah.
And they won't let that happen. But still, we still got to see a few more things. We got to see the conclusion of that battle. And we got to possibly see what happened after the battle, which is stuff we've never seen before. Madara surviving and somehow becoming an old man connected to the giant Ghetto Mazo statue.
If they can rush these flashbacks, they better get through all that shit in the next week, because I want to go back to Sasuke and see what his decision is after talking to the first Hokage.
If anything, these flashbacks are giving us characterization for the first and second Hokage, in particular the second Hokage, because he is just a total anti-Uchiha everything kind of guy.
Yeah, he's like, no.
And he's just... I didn't know much about his character, before this, so it really says a lot for him. And again, for the first Hokage, how willing he was, at the beginning to take his own life. Just whatever, fuck it. Zero problem. I hope a water droplet doesn't interrupt this. But still, it wasn't we don't hate. We're kind of hating on this chapter. It may sound like that, but still, this wasn't a complete waste. There were still a lot of things here we liked. The artwork was all still pretty good. There were a lot of necessary evils for this chapter, such as getting to see Madara go to that turning point where he decides to leave the village and everything. But there's probably going to be more elaboration later. So that's just the way it is. So I think we're going to give this one a 7 out of 10. Because it wasn't an awful chapter. There were still some things that we did enjoy. And I'm sure there's some things that you guys will enjoy. So, yeah.
Let us know what you liked about this chapter down below in the comments. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up. It's always helpful, guys. So until next time, SuperKamiGuru9000, out.